Hello there! So today we'll be taking a look at the strongest dragons in Dragon Mania Legends. So these are the 4 dragons with the highest base stats in the game, but we'll be discussing a few more and a little bit about elements and other important stuff later on in the video. But the strongest dragon in Dragon Mania Legends is arguably the Sumo Dragon. But it has 81 base attack damage and has the legendary Shadow and Light element. The Sumo is also pretty hard to get a hold of since you have to get to League 7 in the Enchantment League by gaining 2,000 points, which is pretty tough all in all. The second strongest dragon in DML is the Plushie Dragon. Now I know the Plushie and the Sumo do share the exact same 81 base attack stat, so technically they are even, but the Sumo has a little bit more health, and to some people the Sumo has the better elemental typing. The Plushie is also a pain in the butt to get, since you need a level 6 breeding den, and then there are 22 outcomes from his breeding combination. Both the Plushie and Sumo do seem to require a lot of effort to get, which makes sense why they'd have such high stats. Third, with a base attack stat of 80, we have the PEXEL Dragon. The PEXEL is a legendary fire and energy type dragon that was available to breed as a Dragon of the Month in March. He has insane AoE damage, so area of effect damage, so it damages the whole enemy team due to his elements, which makes one-shotting like entire teams a breeze. He does have a pretty weird design though. But the 4th strongest dragon in DML is surprisingly the Vortex Dragon. He has an 80 base attack damage, a little bit more health than the PEXEL, but a lot of players do say his legendary void and energy typing means he doesn't quite do as much as the PEXEL Dragon overall. However, the Vortex is the easiest out of the 4 to breed since he's available at any time by breeding together a Mercury plus Lightning Dragon. The Vortex's void typing does have its uses at times, but the opportunity to one-shot with fire is just too valuable for a lot of players, and they do prefer it over the Vortex's health gem. Now, the next 3 dragons all have the same base 79 attack, these being the Autumn, Briar, and Planet dragons. But the Autumn dragon has a whole 2 points of health higher than the other 2, so, honestly, these guys are very similar. But some players think that the plant and shadow typing on the Autumn is just outright better to have than the plant and energy types of the other 2, but a case can be made for each. I personally think that having the shadow element alone makes the Autumn Dragon that little bit better since I am a massive fan of shadow, but energy does give you the chance to stun too, so again, we're kind of at a stalemate. But the Briar is a massive pain to breed. The Autumn Dragon isn't available to obtain currently, and the Planet Dragon costs a ton of money to get, and you can only purchase him outright, so I guess if you don't have any of them, then the Briar is the easiest to obtain. But finally, with a base attack stat of 78, we have the Lantern and Torch Dragons. They both have 242 health base, so they're basically exactly the same when fully upgraded. They both have the legendary light and fire elements, which is also super duper useful for just one-shotting teams, or at least doing a ton of AoE damage. But the Torch Dragon is no longer available as he was part of a super event, and the Lantern Dragon is actually available for this month only, so until the end of January 2017. So I guess out of the 2, the Lantern would be the easiest to grab. So they were the 9 dragons I wanted to talk about mainly, but in my 10th spot, I'm mostly putting this dragon in here as a personal request from someone. But the Love Dragon is a legendary wind and light dragon which has 77 base attack and 246 health. You can't breed the Love Dragon anymore unfortunately, but a lot of high level players really like the utility that the wind element brings with the Love Dragon. Using Storms of Brewing on the Love Dragon can lower the damage of the enemy's team and stop you from taking a ton of damage, and then you can use your Sumo, Plushie, whatever dragon you have to try and one-shot them back. But honestly, there are a few dragons that I could put in this spot, but I also like the added element of surprise and chance with some of the light upgrades, so that's the reason why the Love is in the 10th spot. But there are obviously a lot of legendary dragons that can do a lot of work, But you see these guys being mentioned by a lot of max level players as being the dragons to help them wreck in the, air quotes, multiplayer leagues as I call them. But what do you think? Any other legendaries you think deserve to be in the list? Like, I think there's any that need to be switched around? I don't know. But again, I mostly went off of base stats for this list. But it is very true that element types are really the things that make a big difference in whether a team's going to succeed or not. But anyway, thanks a ton for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more DML videos, top 10 lists, just whatever I guess. Just thanks for being here. But until next time, I will see you then.